Hey everybody, Garcia here, and today I'm taking a look at a new small card game based in the Abyss universe. This is Conspiracy. In this game, the players are going to be drafting cards, trying to build up their council in order to have the most victory points, the most influence. And you are going to be doing that by using a system that is pretty similar to what you did in the original Abyss game, if you're familiar with that. The main idea, the crux of the whole thing being, the more you attempt to do for you, the more you might help your opponents. And this one uses that same core philosophy to deliver a much smaller and faster little game. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the game here, Conspiracy. I'm going to show you how it works. We'll come on back after that, and I'll give you some final thoughts about what I think of it. Here's what the game looks like set up and ready to begin. Each player is going to have 5 of these tokens, 1 in each color, and they're going to be using these to mark some of the cards they will be building. You're going to be building a pyramid, a reverse pyramid, with 5 cards across the top, then 4 below that, 3, 2, 1. And when someone achieves that, everybody else has a turn, then the game's over and you figure out your score. I will tell you about that a little bit later, and then highest score, of course, is going to be the winner. So on your turn, you are going to be taking new cards and adding them to your pyramid. And they can come from one of 2 places. You can either draw from the top of the deck, 1, 2, or 3 cards, or you can take some that the other players have left revealed on the table. So I'll be the start player, and I go ahead and pull, let's say, 3 cards. And I take a look at these. These are from 3 different colors, and they have a number of victory points at the top, the family icon below that, of course, the color as well. And then something in the corner here that's a special activity, a special bonus. So for example, this one here is worth 4 victory points, and it gives me 1 pearl. This one over here is a single victory point, but it has a silver key, and the keys are what you're going to be using to unlock these special cards over here and earn them. And then this one over here is 6 victory points, but I could possibly end up helping the other players because I'll reveal a new card from here and simply leave it on the table for them. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one here. I'll take the 4 in yellow, and the others I looked at get revealed and left face up. This is my very first card. And every time you add any cards, you need to check if there is now a new card in one of the families that is your highest in that family, numerically. And obviously, this is my highest yellow so far. One of the things I'll be scoring at the end of the game is the highest numbered one in each of the families. So 4 victory points to me right now. I also have 1 pearl, which I'm going to track over here on this card that tracks pearls. And whoever has the most or ties someone for the most is going to get this token, which is worth 5 victory points at the end of the game as well. So that's where I'm at right now. So it'll be the next player's turn. Let's say it's just 2 players back and forth. That player could look at 1, 2, or 3 cards, or take one of these 2. They're going to go ahead and take this one. It's a 6 in blue. That's pretty good. It's one of the highest ones. So they'll take that. They'll build it in their own pyramid off screen here. And they trigger the power, which means reveal a new one and leave it. They'll go ahead and leave that. And so it's back to me again. Now, another thing I want to try to do in this game is build a large contiguous group of the same color. Because for that, I am going to get victory points as well at the end of the game. I'm going to get 3 victory points for every card in that group. So that could end up being, if I get 5 together, 15 points, of course. So that's worth quite a bit. So here are my choices. So I'm going to go ahead and take, I might take this blue 3. That's giving me 2 more pearls, so the running total right now is 3. I'm securing a lead in that. And then I am going to also put the blue token on that, because that's my highest blue so far. That is going to be now 7 victory points. So I'm going to go ahead and advance the game a little bit now, so I can show you a little bit later the things I'm considering, and you understand what is happening, all right? Alright, so the game has advanced through a few rounds here. I'm controlling the pearls still. The total is now at 5, and I've got those 5. I have also, at this point, earned one of the special cards over here, and they've cycled a little bit. That's going to happen when you get 2 keys of the same kind. There are silver keys and gold keys, and I got 1 there, and I got another 1 there. When you get your second one, you get to either take one of the face-up cards here, or again, look at up to 3, take 1, and then leave the other ones behind for yourself or the other players later on. So I've already done that, and this one here shows me that I'm going to get 1 victory point for every silver key I've got at the end of the game. Some of them are going to, for example, this one, simply you got as many victory points as your highest card in red. So you'll be scoring that one twice. And then some of them, like my opponent over here, got one that gave them 3 victory points and 3 pearls. They tied me for a while and took the bonus away, but then I pulled it back, okay? So right now, I am going to either take this card or look at up to 3 again. And right now, this is what I've got. I got a nice group going of blue here. But this is my final opportunity to continue growing that, because after this card, then I play down here, right? Again, it's a pyramid. So I don't necessarily want this green. It's not going to help me very much right now. So I'm going to go ahead and pull, and I'm going to make a big push because I want to get another blue. So I'm going to reveal. Great, there's a blue. I've also got some other options here. So yellow 0 lets me switch out 2 cards in the display in my own pyramid as long as I have no keys. Not that helpful to me right now. And then my choices are a red 6, which is pretty good. My biggest in red right now is only 2, so this is 4 extra points. And then a blue. The blue is only a 2, so not great, but it does have a golden key on it. And after this key, which reset the keys for me, I got a golden key and I got a silver key. So either key now gets me another special card, a golden or a silver. And then again, it resets the keys. I would need 2 more matching ones after that. So I am going to go with that card. I'm going to take that, trigger my 2 golden keys. That is not my biggest blue, so I don't need to adjust the symbols. I can either take this or I can draw up to 3 more. This is not great to me right now. You know, it's only a 2 in red, so that's my biggest one. So I'll go ahead and take a look at just 2 of these. So I'm going to take a look here, and I've got 2 victory points per special card. It matches the symbol on the backs of these. Or the other one is 4 victory points and 2 pearls. That's pretty good. So I go ahead and put that on there. I adjust this to make sure I have 2 more pearls, and I leave this one behind. And now it's my opponent's turn. And again, I'll attempt to continue growing that group there. So that's the game. Once this pyramid is complete, we finish up. We're going to score victory points. The victory points are as follows. The biggest in each color. So 4 victory points, 3 victory points, and so on. The biggest contiguous group, you're going to get 3 points for each. The bonus cards, the little bonus cards, 1 per silver key, so 1, 2, 3 points, and anything else I get, 4 victory points. If you control the most pearls, 5 victory points, and then you add all that up together, and the highest score is, of course, the winner of the game. There you go. I'm not going to show you every little special ability. I'm not going to show you every little thing, but this should give you an idea of how the game operates. So let's go back up top. Let me give you some final thoughts. All right, so that is Conspiracy Abyss Universe. Let's talk about this. Overall, I really like the game. I think it's an excellent little card game that manages to capture the feeling of the original game Abyss and put it in a little box. It all hinges on that same philosophy. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's dig into this. The main, not thumbs down necessarily, I'm just not that impressed, is the thematic ties in the game are barely there, right? There is a tie to the original game's theme, but this isn't going to do a whole lot, excluding it, sort of separating it from that original game to stand on its own as far as a thematic involvement from that point of view. The pyramid doesn't really make any sense. The artwork is all sort of portraits of these characters, so there's not a lot of world building per se in this one. But that's okay. Again, that doesn't bother me, and I'm bringing to the table familiarity with the original game. If you are as well, this isn't so bad, really. The aesthetics are very nice. The artwork is great here. Cards are nice. My only issue is the little tokens. They're a little on the small side. And then surprisingly, I had no problems with the tin. I think games in tins are great as long as the size is about this or smaller. You get bigger than this and you put that in a tin, then you start getting into trouble, They get dinged, they won't close, all those things. But this is fantastic. And you're going to have multiple covers here so you can, buy whichever one you want, 1 per color, with all the, the name and the info on the side of the box. So really nice there. Replayability here is surprisingly high, I would say. There's a lot of little paths to victory or things to focus on, I like that. I like that there are, if you get a bonus card early on, it'll give you a little nudge this way or that way. Finding, you might not end up with every color, so sometimes you have to consider, do I grab a color I already have and try to grow this group? Do I go, digging for blue, which I don't have at all? And if I hit a 4 blue, that's 4 victory points because you're scoring the highest in each color. So if you're missing a color, you might be leaving points on the table, right? Those things are all interesting. And again, this is all packed into 15, 20 minutes sometimes. The ease of play here is very high. The turns are straightforward, even though there's a lot of little things to consider. So the scoring also, I got no problem with that. I like the scoring the way it works while giving you enough variety to make it engaging and keep that replayability up. And then lastly, tactics and strategy. And yes, luck. There is some luck here. You're going to be drawing cards from the top of a deck. You can push it with the risk of making some cards available to your opponents that are excellent for them, but you still have to do it sometimes. The main thing I like here is that there's a nice cadence to the whole thing. You begin with a couple of yellow cards, let's say, and then you put 3 others that are different colors. After 5 cards, you begin the next line. And if you've got 2 yellows here, you want to make sure that this one below it is also yellow so that you can continue growing that group maybe, right? So you're going to push hard on that turn. You're going to draw 3 cards from the top of the deck no matter what, assuming there aren't any available, because you don't care. You need something. And so you have these moments of tension, of rising and falling tension throughout the game that really make this feel like a bigger package than it is. And I like that dichotomy between the more you do to help yourself, the more you are doing for your opponents. And that's what I was talking about with the feeling, the philosophy of the original Abyss. That's all what it's about, right? It's about this idea of the more I do for me, the more I might do for the rest of the players. This bottles that up and puts it in this small package, and that's really neat. I like that a lot. So, you're going to have a lot of interesting moments of consideration, which is why I give the tactics and the strategy a thumbs up. So there you go. I do like this one. I definitely would recommend it. It's a small thing, but it's a fun package. And if you like the original Abyss, I think you're also going to like this one. So here's my bottom line. Captures the feel of the original Abyss game in a much smaller and faster package. That's basically it. Pretty sensical, yeah? This gets an 8 out of 10 from me, so that is a seal of approval, and I definitely would recommend it. If you like the original, maybe you haven't tried it, this is still a really nice little filler with a nice amount of variety for such a small package. So there you go. Conspiracy, Abyss Universe. I am Z Garcia. I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.